Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Audio Files. I'm Steve Westman. Thank you so much for joining me again. It's my honor that you guys are watching me. I guess I'm at least 50% right. You continue to watch me, and I appreciate all the views and subscriptions. It's been an amazing and overwhelming amount of comments and DMs I've gotten, so thank you again. I'm still giving away the Abbey Road 50th anniversary box set once I get to 1,000 subscribers on my channel. That will be given away on July 1st, as long as we get to 1,000. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe, get doing it. There'll be great information going forward. So today's episode are 45 RPM pressings, worth getting out of your chair for 2 extra times. And could you imagine if this was ever pressed on 45 RPM vinyl? What a difference that would make, both sound-wise and experience-wise, especially side 2 with the Beatles medley that we know and love. So let's get started right now. Of course they're worth it to get up extra 2 times. They're 45 RPM. They sound better. Why do they sound better? Well, I want to talk about that today. But first, as long as the 45 is cut from the original master tape and mastered by some of the the greats out there from either MoFi, Analog Productions, or some of the bigger companies that cut vinyl, and as long as you're using the original master tape, probably, and I mean, I guess this is debatable, there'll be some out there, they say their 33 sound better, and that's great, but probably 80% of the time, the 45 RPM pressing sounds better. So why is that? So, I mean, give you an example here. Here's one of MoFi's latest pressings. This is Nilsson Schmilsson, Harry Nilsson. This came out a while ago, obviously cut on 45 RPM. And if you can see here, I mean, you guys know what it looks like, right? Just a lot of space for the music on vinyl because it's cut at 45. Wider grooves, allowing the master tape to really get cut onto this vinyl when it's being mastered. So it's not as compressed being a 45 RPM as a 33 RPM. So you're getting more bass, you're getting more overtone, more treble, and that is the big thing. Less compression equals better sound quality. So in my, in all the ones that I have, 45 RPM, I have, many different albums. I think they're amazing. They sound amazing. And I'll continue to get up off my butt a couple of extra times just for the sound quality. Again, some out there might disagree and say, oh, my 33 sounds great, and that's good. I'm sure it does. Again, I think it boils down to a couple of things, and the mastering of the record for one, obviously, and of course, if it came from the original master tapes, and if those master tapes are obviously in good condition, that's going to be a big key to making sure that this 45 RPM pressing sounds the best it can. So that's the thing about 33, and I have a 33 Nilsson Schmilsson here, and you can see the difference, right? I mean, as we all know, you see the dead wax here, and a 33 RPM, we get what's called reduced dynamic range, right? Because it's just basic physics. As you get closer to the label, you have what's called the inner groove distortion that all 33 RPM records have. So what that means, if you don't know already, is that the closer you get to the label, as you can see here, the more compressed the music is. And so the stylist doesn't have as much time to track the grooves as they get closer to the label. So a lot of the times when these records are mastered at 33, you're going to get a song that doesn't have as much bass on it, or the treble isn't as high because there's not enough space for those type of songs, because lots of bass requires a lot of grooves on a record to cut. So that is basically why 45 RPM is better than 33 RPM. It's pretty much that. I mean, 45 RPM, getting back to it again, I know you guys know what it looks like, but it's no inner groove distortion. You're going to get wider dynamic range, higher frequency, so it's picking up more bass off the master tape. It's wider frequency response, so you're going to get more overtones and better treble as well. So that is why 45 RPM is worth getting out of your chair for. It sounds better most instances as well. I'm sure if you did a survey, I would have to think that 80% of people would agree with me here. I mean, you see the big companies, they are producing producing at 45 RPM. So, I mean, that is the thing. It's less distortion, better sounding as well, right? And can you imagine, and this is the thing, I mean, in my title, if the Beatles ever were cut in 45, how much different would the experience be, let's say on B-side of Abbey Road, listening to the Abbey Road medley as well? I mean, having to flip that twice. I'm not sure if I'd want to do that, although of course the sound quality might be amazing. I don't know if that experience would excite me or not. So not saying this is ever going to happen. 45 RPM probably isn't going to happen for Beatles or anything like that at all. But I mean, it is something hypothetical to think about how different an experience would be when we've always listened to these type of pressings, especially the Beatles on a 33 RPM. So just think about that for a second as well. So anyways, guys, I wanted to quickly talk about that. I hope this video helps, and it's not as long in the tooth as my last one, but I appreciate all the comments, and just keep that music playing loud, keep spinning that music. Until next time, have a wonderful day.